What's up, family? You already know what it is. It's the Hardly Typical podcast with your favorite duo, Lamar and Teresha. What's up? How are you doing, Dr. Lee?
Hey, I'm good. How are you?
I am good. A little tired because we were on a trip. We'll talk a little bit more about that later, but I know it's hard, as a parent when you're on the road. So how's the family now that you're back home? How are the Lead 3 doing?
Yeah. The Hardly Typical duo. We did our first on the road going out, and it was 4 days?
Yeah.
I was exhausted, but now we're back.
Yep.
Back to school, back to packing lunches, back to, teachers texting. Like we never skipped a beat.
So you getting text messages?
Listen, so I always let their teachers know when I'm traveling, just in case of emergencies. Please contact their dad first or their grandmothers. So they know I was back this morning. So this morning, my daughter says, "Oh, Mommy, can I bring my Bible to school? Because we have Bible class on Mondays," which I keep up with their schedule. So I know she has a Bible class. So I said, "Sure, you can take it." So I dropped them off. And about 20 minutes later, I get a text from the twins teacher. They're in the same class.
Wow.
And she says, your daughter, her name, has finished her morning work. And she just asked, can she read her Bible? And I just couldn't think of a better way for her to start her day. You have such amazing kids. And I was like, you know what? I really wish I could take all the credit, but she's really just an amazing individual. Like, they're really good kids.
Yeah.
So that was really nice. Really nice. I dropped my son off at his. I'm still going to drop him off when I get that text. I drop him off, get back home, ready to work. I got to catch up on emails and all the fun things. And his teacher texts me, and I'm thinking, "Oh, is great news." And she's like, "Well, we're going through our morning routine, and we're going through, some sensory play, and we're relaxing. And I think he's a little too relaxed." Because now he just kind of wants to laze around. And I was like, well, you might have called him. It's a little early.
Yeah.
So she sends me a picture and he's like,
let him relax.
Hey.
He was like, I think
he got a little nap. I've been away from my mom all weekend.
Yeah.
I'm recovering.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Good times, though. Great kids.
I know you're glad to be back. I was glad to be back home too. So for the listeners, and if you're watching, we were both at the Disability in the Church conference. So for those of you who don't know, it's an annual conference put on by Key Ministry. Full disclosure, I happen to be on the board of Key Ministry. I actually am serving a second term on the board now because they basically tricked me into doing another.
Because you're big time. Yes.
No.
What an asset you are.
I'm like, oh Lord, they done basically tricked me into doing it now. But I'm glad to do it. So Disability in the Church actually used to be years ago called Inclusion Fusion Live. I've been going since I think I first attended in 2017, and then the first time I spoke at the conference was 2018. But they since changed the name. And last year was the first year that we took the conference on the road. It used to be in Cleveland every year. Last year we were in Orlando. That's actually where you and I met for the first time face to face. I got to say this too before I continue. I actually went back through my Instagram because I know that's the first time we touched base, and it was actually 2021.
Really?
Yes. It was after Disability in the Church came out, and you sent me a message. And your first couple of messages, I had to laugh. All of them were like, Pastor. I was reading your book, Pastor. I was like, you're so formal.
Pastor Hardwick. Listen here. I was about to say bishop, but I was like, I don't want to be too formal.
Okay, stop it.
Oh gosh, I have to see if I have those messages. I need to go
Yeah,
back.
because I was like, we met for the first time in 2024, but I know we have been
Mhm.
exchanging messages. I'm like, how long
This
back?
2021? I thought it
Yes.
was maybe like 22, maybe I think like 23.
No,
I didn't think it had been that long. That
it had
seems longer than I thought, than I
3
realized.
years worth of messages back and forth. They weren't like consistent, but like when the
Yeah.
book came out, you messaged me, asked me a couple questions,
Hmm.
and then we had, we didn't talk for like, it might have been several months, maybe almost a year, and then another message, and
And I
then
found an excuse. Pastor. Was right back.
I was like, she was so formal, bless her heart. I'm like, my name is Lamar. You can call me Lamar. It's just like they were
Mm-mm.
all pastor, pastor,
Mm-mm.
pastor.
I
I'm
was
like,
raised in the South. That's
uh,
inappropriate.
obviously, because I'm like, I mean, it was kind of fun to read because, like, we're friends now, and I'm like, I can't imagine you calling me pastor.
We're going by titles, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So Disability Church first time on the road was last year in Orlando. That's the first time we met in person. And then I think, I came home and it was like, oh, let's do a podcast. And here we are
Yeah.
in season 3, wrapping up the end of season 3. So this year it was in the DC area at
Mhm.
McLean Bible Church, by the way, which is a humongous church. I got lost a few times.
Yeah. It was
Just
big.
Yeah, I'm not going to tell people about where you parked because you were following the green arrow.
I had to ask for help to get back to my car. Like, how do I get out? Where's the door?
Yeah,
I'm
the,
lost.
yeah, the church is like unbelievably massive, and I hear it's only one of their campuses. So I'm like,
Wow.
I don't know how y'all do it.
Yeah, but it was
Uh,
a beautiful campus. It was a beautiful
yes,
campus, and they were very hospitable. It was really nice.
yeah, yeah. So I think I can't confirm this, but I've been going and speaking at Disability in Church and been on the board, but I think it was the largest attended one
Really
ever. Yeah,
nice.
probably
Okay.
ever, which is why, as a board, we said we want to take it on the road because there's a lot of people who couldn't get to us in Cleveland
Yeah.
because of the airport. It's not a international airport. It's not, there was just a lot of factors, but every year it's gotten bigger. We went to Orlando. It was a bigger number than Cleveland. We
Hmm.
went to DC area. So we're working on next year. I think Steve said, which Steve is the president of Key Ministry. I think he said sometime summer. By summer, we'll know where it's going
Where
to
are you going
be.
for 2026?
Yep. So,
Okay.
but it was fun. So here's what I would love to do because we had a lot of fun. You and I actually did a workshop together. Maybe we can say a little
Yeah.
bit about that. But I want to get just 3 things for the listeners so they can kind of know our experience.
Okay.
Biggest takeaway,
Hmm.
whether it's from a talk, from the stage, or a workshop maybe you went to, or maybe a conversation you had with an attendee.
Hmm.
Best moment. So it could have been anything from the worship to, something that was just a moment for you, like where you were like, wow, this is special, right?
Okay.
And then I thought it would be fun to do something about the behind the scenes blunders. There's always something that happens
Mm.
when you're out of town or where you go to a conference or something like that you didn't
Okay.
expect.
Yeah.
Um, and let's just have some fun with it. So, what would you say your biggest takeaway? Because this is your what, third time?
This is my third time. I've done
Mm-hmm.
Cleveland, Orlando, and now DC.
Okay. So, what would you say is your biggest takeaway from what and I can confirm this,
Mm.
biggest takeaway from what I feel was the biggest attended disability in a church conference?
See, there's levels to this because one of the takeaways was, organizing my presentations. Like Dr.
Mm,
Eric Carter did a phenomenal job.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Amazing. So in the back of my head, I'm taking in the information, but I'm also saying, you need to get like this.
Uh,
because that was so well presented and organized that I just really liked it. And the way he organized it, my brain was just like eating it up. Sometimes, people can do slides in a talk and you're like, what? It can be a bit disorganized. It can be a bit overwhelming, but he did it really, really well. I think Dr. Carter's, just the information that he shared and even the data from last year. So for those who weren't there last year, we did a bit of surveying and he presented some of that data this year. And that was really, I really enjoyed that session. I think that was my favorite session.
Okay. Yeah. And
I
now
think that
you
was my
said
biggest.
they did the data from last year, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Did some data from last year, some from Baylor, some
Yeah.
the programs they're doing. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. They do have an amazing team. I really like Dr. Carter.
Yeah.
He and I show up at a lot of things together. I remember we were in Dallas at a conference a couple years ago. It was a Young Life Capernaum conference. Side note, the actual person who started it, I think did you meet him?
I actually did get to meet the founder of Young Life. And when he told me he was the founder of Young Life, I said, oh my gosh. Like, there's so many college students I know who found their way to Christ through Young Life that I was just like, oh my goodness. So then he's told me about his new initiative from breath to death, because Young Life now has a cap. You have at 22 is the highest age.
Yes.
And he said he fought it. He didn't want that, but instead he decided to start something new.
Okay.
Which sounds great because this sounds like it's covering an even broader audience. And he was just really, really informative. He, if you meet people and you're like, oh, they just love God. Aren't they lovely? Like, that's how he was. He was a really nice guy. So yes, I did get to meet him.
I didn't get to meet him, but I did Young Life Capernaum, and like I said, I met Dr. Carter there. He actually sat in on one or both of my sessions, which is really cool. But yeah, they have an amazing team at Baylor. I low key was jealous because he used to be at Vanderbilt, I think.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he I kind of follow people's careers in this industry. But yeah, he moved to Baylor. I think they got a huge grant and they've been doing a lot of work, and I was low key jealous. I'm like, man, I want to go down there and work with them. So
yeah, I could see you doing phenomenal work with them, honestly.
Yeah, but they're doing great work. I actually missed
plug Baylor. Call Lamar Hardwick, Dr. Hardwick.
Yeah, we'll
Just
see
putting it out there.
We'll see about that. We will see about that. But yeah, I like the work that they're doing, and I missed that session, but I did go back and watch it. So FYI, all the main stage sessions, if you want to watch it, are on the Key Ministry YouTube page. So that was your biggest takeaway. I could tell you were going to say that.
Really?
Because you're such an academic. Like,
it's just something about it. It was feeding my soul. I was like, oh, this is good. This is good. It was really, I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I could totally see that. I'm like, yeah, this is like, you're such an academic, such a PhD, organized research mind.
I'm like, that's the level you want to get on.
We need people like y'all because I can't organize no data. Like, I can go out and implement what you say to do with it.
That's not true, because you said what was my biggest takeaway, but my best moment was how the Dr. Lamar Hardwick gave 3 points, a conclusion, a benediction, a call to worship, and a come as you are. You can be filled with the gift of the Holy Spirit in 10 minutes. I was like,
stop it.
Like, y'all watch the video, right? Here was my face. Like, hands down, it was the dopest. And he know it was, because people were coming to him afterwards like, wow. Like, next year we need a whole like homiletics. How can we do that? Because he broke down a text. He gave points, a conclusion. It was so seamless that the rest of us who had to speak
Okay.
that day, like, I'm glad I spoke before him.
Okay.
So
So,
I got to speak. I got on stage before him. Then he came after me, shut it down, and I was like, good, I'm already done. Because I'm
stop
not
it.
getting back up there.
Stop it. Dude, I knew. So, okay. So, for context, tell the people, like, what was happening, why I was.
You're
I'm gonna talk
absolutely
about
right.
you
They need
now.
to know this. And here's why
Yeah.
they need to know. One of the reasons why he's able to do all this in 10 minutes is because he was being awarded the President's Award. So he was already being honored as the disabilities and the church guru. Then he gets up there and wipes everybody out.
Did you say
I was like,
guru?
the guru.
Okay.
Let me tell y'all something, okay? Y'all want to hear something? So throughout the conference, Lamar and I are walking like, hey, we're going to go get something to eat. Hey, let's go over here, see if we can go over some of our notes before we present. Y'all, I couldn't get 5 steps with him. Somebody was stopping him for a picture, an autograph.
Oh
I've
my
been
God.
following your work. I was like, listen, Lamar. So at one point, y'all, this is a true story. I promise you.
True story.
At one point, I said, Lamar, we done been here all day. I'm hungry. They had dinner for us. I said, I'm going to eat.
She left me.
But I'm going to walk with you. But if you get stopped, I'm leaving.
She left me. She
We
ain't
didn't get
lying.
2 steps. Lamar said, excuse me, Lamar, excuse me. I said, some of us, we just not called like that. Nobody knows my name. Ain't nobody checking for me.
That's not true.
I was half finished with my food before Lamar walked in the room for food.
That's
I
not.
said, see,
Now the true part is she did leave me on. Like I looked up and she was gone. I
I
got to
was
the table.
hungry.
She done blessed the food,
I did.
ate over having conversations. I'm walking in
Made
like
new friends and everything. Lamar just
sure
walking
did.
in.
Sure
I said,
did.
sir,
She ain't lying about that part because I came in. I'm like, I'm just gonna eat based off your blessing because you blessed the food like 15 minutes ago.
pretty much. Pretty
She
much.
she that now some of that stuff she exaggerated, but she ain't lying. She left me. I looked up, she was gone, and I had to
Promise y'all,
walk
it's
to
not
that big.
exaggeration.
Had to walk to that big, huge church by myself, trying to find out where we were having
Yeah.
dinner, and
It was rough.
she left me.
I
Left
was
her
hungry.
left her co-host.
I was trying to hang in there, and my stomach was like, no, run. He's not
She
gonna
was
make it.
gone. I don't even think you slowed down, to be honest with you. I think you didn't break stride. You didn't look back to see if I was
Mm-mm.
okay.
I couldn't. I couldn't look back. I,
You was like the Old Testament when God told him to flee. He was like, "Don't look back." You didn't look back.
mm-mm.
I'm like, it
Don't
was
do
like
it.
a horror movie when somebody go down, and the friends who are still running don't look back. That's how it was.
I said, I hope he get out. I hope it's some food when he's done.
Wow, wow. Okay, well, I guess that was your leaving me was your best moment.
No, 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 no. That's not what I said. Mm-mm, mm-mm.
Oh, it was the President's Award
It
or
was the
the
President's
okay.
Award. It was well received. It was well deserved. And you handled it really well. I thought you did a great job for I don't even think you used the full 10 minutes, but you did a really good job.
Well, I appreciate it. I'm gonna talk about you in a second, but
Don't worry, I'm gonna make sure we post some pictures on the Hardly Typical podcast page so y'all can see.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when she's saying that, that the pictures that she took, she wouldn't let me see them. So I haven't seen
Listen,
those
I was
pictures.
like, come on, we gotta get some pictures. I had to do it quick.
Yeah.
Cause y'all, Lamar was like, oh, okay. We taking pictures. Oh, we posing. Y'all, he wasn't feeling it. He wasn't
Now,
feeling it. It's okay. I think it's a man thing. Cause my husband be the same way. We gotta take pictures. How many? Like, why is it gotta be a number?
maybe it is a guy thing. I don't know because my boys don't like taking pictures either. Now I shouldn't say that. They like taking pictures with their friends.
Oh, it's just not with their parents.
Yeah.
Oh,
No.
wow.
No, they really get really mad when my wife tries to get a picture with them.
Wow.
And I'm like, yeah. But they're not old enough now. I told her just leave them alone. just leave them alone because everybody gonna be miserable. So we don't really do pictures that much unless it's Mother's Day, and then I make them do it. So, and I
Oh
make them
yeah, Mother's
smile.
Day is always nice.
Yeah. All right. So, biggest takeaway, best moment. Give the listeners a behind the scenes blunder because something always
Mm,
goes wrong.
mm. Wait a minute
What
now.
would you
Wait a
say?
minute. We're not gonna just dive into my blunders.
No,
Let's
no. Well, you can ask me after you.
let's make sure we hear your biggest takeaway. I think that's what the people want to hear first. What was your biggest takeaway?
Oh, so
That's
you
it.
just gonna disrupt the order like that? Look at it. She's just
They want to
disrupting
hear
the
from
order.
you. They want.
We
They
done
don't want
talked
to just
about
hear
this
from
in a
me, then
meeting
hear from
before
you.
this
They like,
podcast, and
no,
she's gonna
her
decide.
takeaway. Now, what's his takeaway? Yeah, they like
Okay,
that.
all right. My biggest takeaway. I enjoyed seeing so many young people.
Mm, it was a lot of young people.
Yeah, I don't know if it was like a school or something that they decided they were going to attend together. Like the section I was sitting in, because I was on the panel that was in the opening day, so we kind of sat next to the door
Uh huh.
in the auditorium or the sanctuary that had access to backstage, and there was a whole contingency of young people. You sat in that section
Yeah.
too, like,
Yeah. I
and they
remember.
were like excited to be there. And then I saw some other young people.
Yeah.
And I'll be honest with you, like I said, I attended in 2017 and started speaking since 2018. I've never seen that many young people, and usually just not any. I'll just be honest with you.
Mm-hmm.
It's all people who are already like in the field and usually have lots of years of doing it. But that was my biggest takeaway. Like, wow, I felt like, okay, this movement is in good hands. Like, we're attracting young people now who want to do this ministry, who want to make sure that people with disabilities and their families are not just being included, but they're belonging, they're serving. So that was my biggest takeaway, and it made me feel good. I said from the stage, I feel like I'm one of the OGs.
Mm-hmm.
Not because those people's been doing it longer than me, but I got a lot of miles on me when it comes to this. Like I've the last over a decade traveled a lot, been to a lot of churches, been to a lot of conferences. So yeah, that was my biggest takeaway. It was refreshing and energizing for me.
Yeah, I did see a
Yeah,
lot of young people. That was nice. Yep.
yeah. I should say
Different
younger
ages.
than me, at
Yeah.
least. I'm not old, just so y'all know.
Absolutely not. None of us
Okay.
are. None of us.
I'm still cool, just so
Uh huh.
y'all. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yes. Yes. I still am fly. I still like to dress. So when I say young people, I'm not saying I'm old. I just want to make sure people know that because people are like, well, how old are you? I'm not that old. Okay.
Listen, let's not age him too much, okay?
Oh.
Especially since you're calling yourself the OG. That does give you a little bit oldish, but it's
Yeah,
okay.
I thought about that after it came out of my mouth. can, can that be my blunder? No, that wasn't behind the scenes, so that doesn't
Mm-mm. Mm-mm. That
work.
wasn't behind the scenes.
Oh,
All
all
right, you
right.
want to give your best moment now?
I guess since you done just messed up the whole order.
Then we can do our behind the scenes blunders together. How about that?
Okay. All
Since I
right.
hijacked your order.
All right. That's fine. I'll say my best moment. Speaking of young people, there was a young college student who I met. I spoke at his school. I think it was last year. And then I also met with I can't remember the exact name of the office. They changed the name, but it was basically the office of like disability and what's the word that they use? Basically accommodations for students with disabilities so that they make sure that
Okay.
they get what they need. Almost like the office. We talked about this, I think, last season, how IEPs technically can follow you to college. So it's kind of like that office. I don't remember exactly what they name it. Every university calls it something different. So normally when I go somewhere, they work me pretty good. So I didn't just
Mm.
speak. I met with staff and different people And one of the things that happened when I was at his school was that I met with that office and some of the students. It was just really cool. They had their own building.
Mm-hmm.
And so I met him. He had my book, Disability in the Church, and we talked. And he remembers an encouraging message that I gave to him, and we took a picture.
Oh,
And I actually
nice.
saw him at the conference. And what was also energizing, and my best moment was he was a quick take speaker. So for those who are listening or watching, quick take is like a TED Talk style talk that's given from the main stage.
Yeah.
So it was cool, and
It's
it was
10
actually
minutes.
10 minutes. Um, but it was cool because he actually came up to me the day before and showed me the picture that he had from like the year before, and he was like, "Is it
Oh,
okay?"
cool.
And he's like, "Is it okay if I use this in the presentation? I'm doing a quick talk." I said, "Absolutely." So I made it a point to go and listen to him. He did a really good job. So that was my
Nice.
best moment. Like, you know, he still had that picture, and then he even said in the presentation that he had the opportunity to meet me, and he told them the encouraging words that I gave him. And so, yeah, that was my best moment. Like, yeah, it just makes you feel
That's
like
nice.
you're helping people. Um,
Yeah, definitely.
yeah, so that was cool.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like it.
All right, back to my order, ladies and
Well,
gentlemen.
we're back. We're
Yes,
back.
I'm
Okay.
back. I'm back in control now.
All right. All right.
Behind the scenes blunder,
Mm,
or something that just didn't go as expected, and something that you can look back and laugh at.
yeah.
Just like, yeah.
Okay. Okay. I actually have two.
Two. Okay.
I got two.
All right.
So one of them I just noticed. There were a couple of photographers throughout the conference, and people start to tag you and post the pictures as the
Uh,
week after the conference goes by. And there is currently a picture. Don't go looking for it. Nobody go looking for it. Okay. But I am not a manuscript speaker. When I
uh,
go up to speak, I usually just need like key terms to jog my memory to make sure I stay on track, because I can go down a rabbit hole trying to tell a story and be like, no, come back. So because I was on the main stage, I just did, my key points in like 25, 28-point font. Well, there is a picture where at the right angle, you can see these huge notes on my laptop with me speaking. And I have the laptop turned just so slightly where you can see my notes and me speaking. And I said, I'm just perusing through social media, and all of a sudden I get like this close, like, oh my goodness. So yeah, I'll be mindful of how I
oh my
position my
god.
laptop or my iPad or whatever I use in the future. So my second behind the scene blunder. The second day, I charged up my laptop, made sure it was ready to go, because you and I were presenting that second day together. That final day. The
Mm-hmm.
final day was actually the third day of the conference, right? The final day.
Yeah, third day.
So I got dressed, hair, makeup, everything, picked up my laptop bag, ready to go. Final day. A bit tired, but I'm going to make it through. Get to the venue, and 7 minutes before we are to go on stage, I realize that I'm carrying an empty laptop bag, and my laptop is actually still at the hotel charging on the desk.
Uh-huh.
I
Yeah.
was traveling with a friend. She was like, hey, do you want me to go get it? I said, there's really just not enough time.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
So
Uh,
Lamar and I had to present without any slides, which I think we did phenomenal, by the way.
yeah. I think it went well, but it was a blunder because it
It
involved me.
was all my notes,
Yeah.
slides, everything. And here's the thing, because I was still editing, I saved it on my desktop. So there was no way I could access my notes or the slides anywhere else but the laptop.
Yeah. And when she says notes, she's not just talking about hers, because I sent mine to
Yeah.
her to put on the slides.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But like you said, I think we did a good job. I think
I think we
a
did
lot
too.
of people, yeah, a lot of people said they enjoyed the session. They
We
thanked
got great
us.
feedback.
Yeah. So it happens. Hey, It's not the first time somebody forgot.
Yeah, it was. I got through it. I got through it. I won't say it was my best, but we got through it.
No, it was good. It was good. So let me listen. Before I say my behind the scenes blunder, let me just say you did a phenomenal job. So let's she talks about me, but what she's not telling you is that um I accepted the President's Award, but I had 10 minutes. She had a keynote, she had a quick take, so she was on the main stage twice, and she did a workshop. What else did you do? Like,
It was too much.
You were all over the place.
And I was selling shirts.
Selling shirts.
It was too much.
Blessing babies. Baptizing folks.
Tell him to stop.
Laying hands on the sick and they recovered.
Now I did threaten to pull out my oil a couple of times, but no.
Oh yeah, we did have an interesting conversation about the anointing oil that apparently goes everywhere. Just in case.
It's supposed to.
Just in
you
case.
Never know. You
just
never
in
know.
Case. Just in case. I felt safe just standing next to you because I knew you had the anointing oil.
Y'all hear this? Y'all hear this?
All right. So my biggest behind the scene blunder, and what's interesting is that both of our blunders involved each other. So listen, I normally rent a car when I go, but I just wasn't confident in navigating DC area traffic, which it actually wasn't that bad now that I have experienced it, because I've only ever been there just flying through, so I've never actually.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I was like, drive. I don't know. And people have been telling me something like, I'm just going to Uber. And this is a new thing for me, Uber, because I don't talk to people and I don't like strangers and I get very anxious, which is why I always get a car. But I have slowly over the years eased into Uber. So I got an Uber. So we're at the dinner that Dr. Lee left me to go eat. And I'm ordering my Uber for after. And then the dinner that she's talking about was for the speakers.
For all the speakers.
I'm ordering my Uber. She looks over my phone. She's like, that's too much money to be paying for an Uber. I have a car. I will just drop you off. So I'm telling her, look, I'm at the such and such hotel. Well, I had no idea that there are actually 3 of those hotels in the airport area with the same name. And at the end, there's a dash, and then it tells you the location. So it's blah, blah, blah by Marriott. And then there's a dash, Dulles Airport dash something. Well, I tell her I'm at this airport hotel by Marriott, and she puts it in like any normal person would do into the navigation, the maps, and it just pulls up, I guess, the first one. And y'all, I got dropped off at the wrong hotel.
Yeah, that was pretty rough. That was pretty rough, Lamar.
Yeah. But you didn't even know it till the next day.
The next day.
I think the next day we were going to dinner. And I think that's when I told you. Because I didn't want to bother you because it was a long night. We were tired and we had pulled up in the lot and we were kind of discussing like what we needed to do for the next day and other details.
Send in the slides. I'm gonna give you details. Okay.
Yeah. And I was like, all right.
And he gets out of the car confidently, walks into his hotel. I drive off. Listen, I'm tired. I'm scared somebody's gonna stop me in the parking lot. Like, oh, can I get a picture with Dr. Harvick? Will you take it?
Oh my
God. That's how it was at the conference.
It.
So I'm trying to drive, get there. The next day, we're on our way to dinner. Our friend Kim is with us, and he's like, yeah, you dropped me off at the wrong hotel. And she's berating me.
That's a whole other.
How could you drop him off at the wrong? And I'm like, whoa, I'm just hearing this too. I didn't know. I would have turned around.
No, it was pretty bad.
It was both hilarious, traumatic,
and
shocking at the same time. So we had to be double sure that we were at the right place. Like, we wouldn't even pull off until you text from your room that you were safe, and then we left.
Yeah. Yeah. After we came from dinner, yeah. And then, when you dropped me off, we like, now, Lamar, this hotel doesn't look nothing like the one I
Nothing. Nothing alike. One had a nice awning, lights. The other one, I said, wait, these aren't even. Yeah, it didn't.
I wasn't paying attention. I was so tired. I just got out the car, went in. It wasn't until I went in and noticed like that this is not my hotel.
Yeah.
But luckily mine wasn't far, so I just got an Uber. It was like, I think $10 or less than that. It wasn't far. So
oh goodness.
yeah,
But I will say the food was good though. We had some good food in DC.
Yes, it was very good.
It was pretty good.
That restaurant we went to was really good.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, and the final day after you left, because I couldn't get a flight out that day, that final day, I ended up having to wait until Saturday morning. I found a taco place. Oh my goodness, and I love tacos.
See, you shouldn't have told me that.
Very happy. I was like, oh, this is delicious. And they had different kinds. So I was like, I want one of those, one of those, one of those. I got 4 different ones because I wanted to try them all just so I could say I tried them. And they were delicious. It was very nice. Yeah, and then I went back to my hotel and I went to sleep like 5 o'clock. I was tired.
It was.
I wanted quiet. I don't want to talk to nobody. I was full. Like, it wasn't a bad thing. I had a great time. I met a lot of great people, but I think I was just tired. Yeah. Socially, emotionally, and physically. I needed.
Yeah.
So I'm glad I got a little extra time.
Yeah. And I'm glad you did too, because sometimes you need to create margin. Like, I always come in a day early.
Yeah. And that actually might be a good idea too, because I came in that day and then went to the conference and kept going.
Yeah. I tried that years ago and I found, just for me, I can't do it. Like, I was a total mess the time I did it. There's one time where I was speaking at a conference in Overland Park, Kansas, just across the border and of Missouri. Yikes! I drove straight from the airport to the conference, went to the bathroom, changed my shirt, and went in the conference. And it was terrible. All right, well, we're glad that y'all joined us, for this episode of kind of reviewing our experience. And I'm glad that we got a chance to, do our workshop together. And I'm glad I got a chance to see you hit the keynote that you did out of the park. I noticed that she didn't give me a lot of time to talk about how good she is and all the people who stopped her. You notice that she didn't let me do that, but that's all right.
We don't need to hear that.
We'll be at that. Listen, I might just make my own episode without her and just talk about her and what she did.
Wow, y'all hear this? It's gonna be a Hardly takeover, huh?
Yep, I'm gonna take over.
Hardwick takeover. Yep. There you go.
There we go. Y'all
I like it.
Y'all might need to look out for that episode because she didn't let me say anything good about her, but she did a fantastic job with the keynote, with the quick take, with, everything. And people were stopping her to take pictures. Don't let her fool y'all.
Like that one person, maybe 2. That's it. Don't listen.
No.
Don't listen.
She's a rising celebrity. And I'm just trying to get out the way so that people can appreciate her greatness. I told her she's the GOAT. So,
oh gosh, now y'all know he lying.
So I might have to just
do
my own.
It's almost Sunday.
Yeah, I might have to do my own episode because she didn't let me talk enough about what she did. But listen, we're glad that y'all joined us. We're really wrapping up this season, so be on the lookout for like a short recap of what was great about this season, kind of like what we did today. But as always, just make sure that you like, subscribe, share, and then also go to the Key Ministry website. That's Key, as in Key, K-E-Y, Ministry, and check out their website. You can just Google that and check out their website. And in a couple of weeks, we're gonna see the announcement of where Disability in the Church will be for 2026, and we would love to see you there. And so, until then,
definitely.
And then we want to make sure that you get an opportunity to look at those videos. So make sure you go to their YouTube page and watch Dr. Lee hit it out of the park. We'll see you all next episode.
See ya.